So a little background about this. 20 years ago today, we had what we call the celebration of life. We had friends and family come. It was in the front yard. Those of you who were alive at the time probably remember that. Or who, and those that weren't part of the family who were alive, just not part of the family.
True.
Yeah, it was in the front yard, and we all came, and we had cake, and I said very few words, but I was appreciative that everybody was there. And then we let balloons go, and the idea kind of germinated from a talk that, well, at the time, Elder Monson, actually he was probably in the first presidency, so he was President Monson even at the time. So President Monson gave a talk in conference about a girl who was sick or something. I don't remember the whole details. And then she, released these balloons with little messages or something, and he had a great message that went along with it. But just that image of releasing balloons had stuck with me at that time. So I wanted to do something similar, and we did. And inside the balloons, 20 years ago, we put a message. And this is what it said. This was a poem written by Sister Pierce, Sarah Pierce. And I think I changed one word. It's called The Celebration of Life, and this is the poem that she wrote. I set this balloon free to float on a breeze. Into it I blew all my worries and dread. My chemo is done, and I sigh with relief as I look forward with thanks for the years ahead. And then it gave the date, my name, and I drew a little picture. So that was all 20 years ago. And I think the phrase from this poem that I think is really apropos today, 20 years later, is that line, I look forward with thanks for the years ahead. And I think, the operative word there is thanks. And if there's anything that I've learned or that stuck with me or been more pronounced over the last 20 years is gratitude. And the necessity of gratitude, the importance of gratitude. Being on chemo is a pretty narcissistic time. A lot of attention is paid. On one hand, rightly so, because you need to be taken care of, and a lot of things can happen, things can go wrong. So there is care that needs to be paid, but a lot of things revolve around you. And even at the time, I much more enjoyed the time that I was able to spend with other people, either other patients, the doctors, the nurses, a lot of time with my mom and family. And that time that I had to develop relationships was probably the most important thing that I gleaned from that time on chemo. And over the last 20 years, one of the things that I'm most grateful for still being here, is the opportunity to deepen those relationships, deepen relationships with family and with friends. And especially at that time, 20 years ago, I had one nephew, and now, the count is, 7 nephews and nieces with one on the way, so 8-ish. And that's great. And cousins, you all have kids. Well, Matt and Julie have a dog or something. They have kidsy kinds of things. So there's been more family to kind of join us in this journey of life in the last 20 years. And so, yeah, the thing that I'm most grateful for is that time to spend with y'all, to continue to spend with y'all, to deepen our relationships. And I think that, that pretty much sums up what I wanted to say. Or just when Amber and the kids got here, she just, she said congratulations and made a little comment about, we have an opportunity to know each other and love each other in this life because I'm still around. And it's that times, those moments that we have in this life that I really cherish. Jeffrey sent me a text the other night, that said that they were looking through pictures, and Ivy said, "My Miss Unc B," you know, and it melted my heart. It was, I loved getting that text, because I love my family, all of you, and I'm glad that I'm still around so that we can have those moments in this life. You know, I firmly believe that, you know, our relationships will continue after this life, but I'm grateful for the time that I have still in this life to love you and to know you and continue to deepen our relationships. And so again, thank you for coming. And now...
Can I say one thing?
Yes.
We can't, Brett probably feels the way that I do too, that we can't look back on the years that he was undergoing chemo and that he was sick without thinking of the Calderwood family, because they were our #1 support. And without their help and their support, and they're taking care of Brett when he was first diagnosed, you know, who knows what the outcome might have been, but we do appreciate that support so much.
Right. Y'all want to come over here,
No.
everybody?
Away from the trees.
It's the sun at the top. Yeah.
If that air will flow everywhere.
You know what to do.
Ready? No.
They can just, if they can go move towards the house.
Hey, Julie, as long as they can clear the trees.
Super nice.